Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we are talking Love and Marriage Huntsville. You guys know why you are here today. We are reacting to the bias and the favoritism that was taking place in the reunion stage last night on part one of the reunion, and it was very much a turnoff. It very much was a turnoff. Can people take notes from Club Shay Shay from Shannon Sharp's interview with Cat Williams a couple of days ago, where he gives the person the opportunity to speak and doesn't pick and choose who from the cast of Love and Marriage Huntsville gets to speak? Because it was very annoying. Why was it that Letitia was able to say whatever she wanted, even if it was lies, even if it didn't make any sense, even if she was just slandering people? And, if Kiki or, Stormy or Mel or somebody wanted a rebuttal, they were cut off in favor of whatever rehearsed reads Letitia was speaking on. And I'm tired of the rewritten history that Letitia continues to do. First it was, you were the one who wanted Melody Cherie's help because you were sick of being a stay-at-home mom. You wanted to be out in the workforce. Now you're claiming that it's your family that wanted you to be out in the workforce. No, and daggone well, Marcel wants you at the house and does not want you to succeed and doesn't want you to make your own money and all of the things. Also, this notion that some of the questions that were completely inappropriate that were being asked, like the extended discussion about the cast sex lives, that's not the answers or the questions that, quote, the people want to know. That was Carlos just being nosy. And wanting to start mess and wanting to start chaos. And again, Martel is a liability at this point on the show. He is way too arrogant, way too, violent, and has a temper, has a short fuse. Anytime you say something to him that isn't favorable, he just goes on these tangents, loses his mind, starts trying to interrupt people, has these outbursts, and as we're going to see next week, he's going to walk off the stage. Okay, we don't need you back, to be honest, but it's just so crazy just seeing Carlos's eyes light up around Martel and how much Martel gets away with being disrespectful and trying to undermine Melody Cherie and trying to throw these little jabs and these little shots, and he's never checked. He's never checked at all. And, people leave comments, they're like, oh, well, but Mel and Martel are producers. Does it look like last night's reunion part 1 episode, Melody Cherie, was cutting up the scenes to, does anybody else think that Melody Cherie cut up the scenes last night for what was going to be displayed and what wasn't in the reunion episode? Because I don't know, right? But nonetheless, we have to have a conversation here, because if this is how this is going to play out in the next couple of reunion episodes, then this is not going to be entertaining or fun to watch in any capacity. Just like we are not going to be entertained with Stormy's mom, Betty, using the reunion, using old beef from a long time ago to have a go at Melody Cherie. This is it's just not okay. And then, what was the decision about the reunion set? Why wasn't any of the couches or the decor matching? Why was everything mismatched? And, as badly as Carlos King wants to be Andy Cohen, as badly as he wants to turn their own network into Bravo, at least can you take some of the positive from Bravo? As far as the set design, as far as the cast having a reunion theme, so everybody's more cohesive, so everybody doesn't look like they're going to different places. Marcel looked like he was, just hanging around the house and waiting to film a scene for the show. he did not care about, the condition of his suit. Kimmy looked like she was going somewhere else. Stormy was giving Betty Boop. Melody Cherie was giving Disco Glam. Everybody was in different locations, you guys. There was no cohesiveness at all with the looks that people had, and it was very interesting to see.
It was very interesting. So I just wanted to have this, moment to call this out, because I feel like it's getting lost in the sauce with some of the other viral moments that took place in last night's reunion, that if this bias is going to continue, it is going to be a very difficult watch, a very difficult sell to continue to take these reunions seriously. And also, the other thing I wanted to add in regards to these reunions, in comparison to Bravo, is that they're usually on the Bravo reunions of their various reality shows, there's some type of resolve so that the cast can come back together to start filming for the next season. But I feel like things are so dark with this cast right now. Things are so negative and nasty right now with this cast that it's going to be nothing but isolation this next season. Because it doesn't look like Stormy really fools with anyone in the cast. Looks like sometimes she likes Kiki, sometimes she doesn't. It looks like she sometimes deals with Tisha, sometimes she doesn't. But pretty much everyone else is, she's whatever to them. Right? And, then of course we have, Kimmy that tries to play neutral, but secretly makes shady comments behind everybody's back. We have, Kiki, who's trying to, immerse herself into the show. But now it's going to be difficult because her, cousin and her cousin's husband are going to make it a point to make things difficult for her, because they first were mad that she was on the show, but then once she made the show, wanted to dictate what she should talk about on the show, and was mad that Melody Cherie was the one that brought her on the show, and is mad as well that they're not, she's not listening to anything that they're saying. So their response is to go scorched earth and just reveal, partial family secrets, that we do not have all of the appropriate people in the house to validate yay or nay what is true about this tea and what is not true about this tea, and what is being embellished to simply hurt your cousin on national television. But yeah, I want to know, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? How is there going to be resolve going into season 7 with all this discord? To be honest, last night really showed how much Martell is not needed on the show anymore, and that he really has nothing going on outside of, starting drama with Melody Cherie. But pretty much he was MIA because he really had no major storyline this season. To keep it a buck, we probably could have had one reunion episode that was maybe like 90 minutes, because I feel like most of last night really was kind of just filler and really didn't get to the meat and potatoes of anything, right? Because it was more of Kimmy doubling down on Maurice and his inappropriate comments about their sex life. It was more of Letitia sitting there mute when Marceau would get dragged, but then would have the energy to drag the women, but never has the same energy to, speak up against her husband. So I'm just trying to figure out, what is the game plan here? What is the game plan of what we're supposed to be expecting with these next two parts? I know that we're going to see appearances from the Fletchers. We're going to see appearance from Stormy's mom for some fake drama to get, content, I guess. And then, of course, we're going to see Tiffany and Lou at some point, because they were featured on, I believe, on the OWN Instagram page. Similar to Bravo, how prior to the reunion, they were filming the cast and asking the cast as they were getting ready in their dressing rooms, kind of like how they felt about the reunion, who was going to be the messiest, and all of the things. So at some point, we'll get them on these reunion couches. But outside of that, what are we talking about this reunion? I just feel like this was another season that was wasted, that was dragged out on foolishness. And it really showed that these fake storylines, because I feel like they're going to spend extensive, unnecessary time on the pregnancy storyline and probably the Houston trip and all of the things. And it's like, why? Why are we being subjected to this? So I just feel like in limbo, you guys. We are in serious limbo. Because there was no structure. There was no, resolve with some of these topics. Everything was just about, okay, who can be the messiest, who can have the most, who can be the most upset in their reaction, who can have the most, nasty digs to each other. But there has to be some type of resolve at a reunion. That's the whole point of a reunion, is to, catch up from where we left off last, but also have something that's positive. Something positive to take us into season 7. Because if it is going to be nothing but division, it is going to be a very boring show. And the past couple of seasons where, they tried to push the Scots, and it was a turn off to the viewers, and it was a turn off to, some of these storylines as to, us not getting, the real. You call this a reality show, but we somehow are allowed to allow people to give rehearsed reads and have the last words, but mute on their lawsuits. Mute on the lawsuits, you guys. But because they're a favorite of, the host, who also wants to be famous, who also wants to be seen, and wants to make their presence known as if they're the other cast member. Make it make sense, you guys. Why is this taking place? Why can't there be professionalism? Why is there so much bias? Why can't somebody just come in, kind of like how Egypt Shepherd was when she has hosted reunions for other reality shows? It was refreshing to see her because I felt she truly understood what it means to be unbiased. And she also understood what it means to allow everyone to say their piece. And if there needs to be a rebuttal, that person can have the rebuttal, and not just only allowing one person to have the last word because that's your fave. And because you like how messy her mom is, who is no longer on the show. Right? But we've got to regroup. We've got to regroup and really get this together, because I'm not feeling it. I am not feeling it, and the show has been on too long for these mistakes to be happening. And as much as people are obsessed with Bravo and what is happening with Bravo, none of the positive takeaways on their reunion episode are being implemented on the show at all. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, where do we go from here? If there's bias, if fake storylines are being pushed, if certain people are allowed to just flat out be disrespectful, if not everybody is given the floor to, respond or say their piece or, have a healthy conversation, even if you disagree with them, at least have them the opportunity to say what they need to say. But instead, we're just looking for like a messy soundbite. We're just looking for somebody to overreact the most so that they can clip in, those particular scenes for the reunion footage. And I feel like going into season 7 is just going to be nothing but mess. It's going to be nothing but mess, nothing but chaos. What is the resolve going to be with this plagiarism storyline? Why can't Letitia take accountability that if you're the face of your kid's hair care business, whether it was you, whether it was someone else that copy and pasted Stormy shipping information, this is still reflecting on you. And the audacity to say that you do not like, the boss terms and things of that nature, basically being referred to as, people who are entrepreneurs and all the things. But what do you call it? What do you call it? So you're not the boss? Because definitely Marceau does not want you to do anything that revolves around management or running any of the businesses. And the lies that are being told of just people that are millionaires. How is Martel a millionaire if he can't even afford to feed his kids? And Melody Cherie has to send Uber Eats and DoorDash to them when they're with their father. And what millionaires are, living in a small, scrunched up apartment? There are other homes doing renovations. Scott Manor is a never, ever, ever land. We are renting vehicles that, we can't afford. We're in millions of dollars in lawsuits, speculation if the couple's actually separated because they show up at different times and they're never on the same page when addressing certain conversations and certain issues, and we all see through it. If we're really going to keep it real and really, quote unquote, ask the questions the people want to know, we need to regroup, because nothing last night was anything I needed to know, other than really the Stormy and Letitia plagiarism storyline. Outside of that, didn't care at all. Because if it's going to be set up for certain people to be gaslit, if it's going to be certain up to, make people like Martell the victim, make Letitia be edited to be the voice of reason and the breakout of the reunion, then we need to delete the footage. We need to delete the footage and refilm the reunion. So there is that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What did you think about the bias that was taking place in this reunion episode, to where, like I said, Letitia had the opportunity to, say whatever she wanted, to say the last word about anything. And, not everybody was afforded the opportunity to have a proper rebuttal. And then you just have Martell shouting just to shout, just so that the camera can turn to him. And undermine things that Melody Cherie was saying. If we're going to be unbiased, we have to give everybody the same opportunities to say their piece. If we're going to call this a reality show, everybody needs to share their reality. And if we're going to have resolve, which is supposed to be the purpose of the reunions, we need to come to a conclusion to these topics. And like I said, everything's in limbo, which means next season starting off is probably going to be a mess. So there's that. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.